Welcome back, trainers, and we're going to be taking a look at Garchomp in the Ultra Premiere with Fire Blast. That's right, it is going to have its Community Day move, Earth Power, but alongside it, also Fire Blast. Now you're wondering, but why you want to run that? Well, you'll see. It comes in very handy, say, up against a Fairy type. Well, you got Earth Power. Well, Fire Blast hits harder. Let's just have a little fun and see what happens here. So we're going to be pairing it up with Garchomp as well as our Empoleon, which is going to be rank 3 and shiny, may I add that. And of course, the Shadow Granbull, which is just disgusting here. This team worked out pretty well. And with that said, let's go ahead and get into it. I will have a few examples as to what is going to be some troublesome situations for you, say if the Empoleon goes down, or should I say the Empoleon and then the Granbull, I suppose. Having Garchomp without Outrage is going to be leaving you pretty vulnerable if you do go up against a Dragon Flyer. But if you do have Fire Blast going up against a dragon that's not a flyer, say for instance Kingdra or Dragalge, you're going to do super effective with your Earth Power, but up against the Kingdra, you got neutral damage. Dragon Breath's going to hurt you. Fire Blast is massively resisted. The problem with the flying dragons is pretty self-explanatory because you do have the ground move, which is not very effective. Your quick move, not very effective. Fire Blast, also not very effective, as opposed to maybe having Outrage, which is going to give you that advantage. You could maybe even run Dragon Tail on your Garchomp, seeing that it just recently was buffed. So yeah, let's get into the commentary, folks. If you do enjoy my videos, I would really appreciate it if you do give it a thumbs up. It helps me out quite a bit. It's like I say, it's not a figure of speech. So going up against the Jellicent here, yeah, this is fine. We're going to go ahead and hang out here. This is not the greatest matchup in the world, but it's also like kind of whatever the Empoleon needs to wear it down here. So as you can tell, this team does work and use it very well with each other, covering each other's weaknesses and resistances here. You've got the Garchomp, which is going to have a massive resistance to electric, which Empoleon is going to be weak to. And then you have the resistance to steel if we ever went up against that, because of the for the Granbull, as well as poison is going to be protected by the Garchomp and the Empoleon as well. So up against the XL Galarian Stunfisk, oh, they did swap into their Galvantula. And we will obviously take very little damage from the electric moves, but Lunge is in fact going to hurt us. As you can see, they're doing quite a bit of damage. Garchomp is ranked 250 something, I do believe, in the Ultra League, so Ultra Premiere, even in the regular Ultra League, whatever. But it's not highly ranked. It is a very big risk, and I'm using this for fun. We survive with what, 1 HP, able to get to another Earth Power here, taking out the Galvantula. In comes the, now see. It's, man, you know what I was thinking is I should have caught with the Granbull here, so we could have had the Garchomp to survive and then take out this thing. But, you know, we misplayed there. We'll live and learn. I was hoping that they might let this go through for some reason, but they didn't, and then I back out. Okay, so that was a loss there. Let's get into some more awesome wins. Starting it off here, we got a mirror match with another Empoleon. So you just have to hope you don't run into any lag and you miss out on a quick move, right? And it also depends on the IVs. So we know that this one is going to have 1 in attack. Obviously, the Empoleon's base attack stat is going to be the same. So I don't know who's going to be winning CMP because I didn't hit that at the same time. Going for another one here, building up to 2 and a little bit of energy here. And they're going to be using their shield and swapping into a Kingdra. Okay, we're going to go ahead and bring in that Granbull. It's time to put in some of that Shadow Charm damage. Absolutely disgusting, and this is an XL. Horrible IVs. Oh, absolutely, but I don't really care. It works great. We're able to get it up higher as far as leveling. And they're going to be bringing in the Empoleon to finish this off, using that energy right away, which is great. We're going to go ahead and shield up. And I was thinking of farming down, but for some reason I thought they may have another one, which they don't. I don't know why it didn't just farm down to begin with, but hey, it works out. So we have a Dragonite. We're in trouble, folks. This is what I'm talking about here. Not very effective moves. What am I going to do? How am I going to pull out of this one? I'm going to show you. Oh yeah, I'll show you. All right, so we're going. What do you think we're going to go for? Fire Blast? Yeah, I mean, that's all we got. I'm not going for Earth Power right now, so we got to swap as soon as we get this off and pray we get to the waterfall. Why the water? I mean, I'm just doing all kinds of not very effective damage. That's how we do it over here. Still taking the win. Let's go. Okay. All right, next battle. We're going to be leading with Empoleon the entire time. Horrible lead here. Going to go ahead and swap into our Garchomp. Don't want to go straight into the Granbull, because they'll probably bring out some sort of steel type. So we're going to go ahead and bring in Garchomp, shield up the first cross chop. They're retreating with energy, bringing in a Charizard, going for the Earth Power. And it is not very effective, but it's still doing some good damage here. Obviously, we don't want to go for Fire Blast. I think I may go for a Fire Blast on a Charizard at some point in time. I don't know. We'll have to see about that. So what we're going to do is just bring in the Empoleon here and easily farm down. This is not a Blast Burn. No, there's no way. Yep, a Dragon Claw, so we're going to go ahead and let that go through. They're still holding on to 2 shields. We've got 1. Machamp has some energy. I do believe it has a Cross Chop ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and hit the Drill Peck as soon as we do see it here. Great. Swapping into our Granbull, doing a ton of damage before they do bring in their Electivire here. And this is going to hurt if they get a charge move through. So we're going to go ahead and shield up the first one. It is an Ice Punch. And simple. Now all we have to do is try to get this thing out of here. And we take it out. Beautiful. Looking good. In comes Machamp, and they go down with 1 Charm. Oh, yeah. That Shadow Charm is no joke. Yes, I'm using a Charm user because we're using a 250-plus ranked on PV Pokemon. Garchomp. Very difficult. Extremely, especially with Fire Blast. Okay, so we have a Swampert matchup here. And they're baiting me with the Hydro Cannon, although it still starts to add up, right? That Hydro Cannon is not very effective to Empoleon, but it adds up. Could have got me with an Earthquake here, and we're going to continue on. Going to go ahead and call it and say, nah, I don't think that there is an Earthquake because I have a trick to know whether or not a specific Pokemon has a move in the lead. That's right. People say there's no algorithm, this and that. Well, I know a lot of you understand that. But at this point, I have figured out little tricks here to know whether or not they have a specific charge move. So we're going to go ahead and let it all go down. We've gotten 2 shield out of them. This is great. Garchomp's going to go ahead and go in here and shield up. And we're going to farm down. All right, no shields on either end. This is going to be a little crazy here. What are they going to bring in? It is going to be a Ferrothorn, folks. Shall we see Garchomp sweep a little bit? Let's have a little fun here with Fire Blast. Don't worry, there's going to be some great plays. Hitting us with Power Whip, seeing that Garchomp is going to be part ground. Still taking a lot of damage from grass and water, although it is Dragon. Hitting that Fire Blast, one-shotting that obviously. Bringing in a Talonflame. And what do we have in the back? Oh, that Shadow Gardevoir, the Shadow Granbull. Alright, so I'm going to show you how you're going to win this here. So we're going to go ahead and swap into the Granbull to catch this Flame Charge, which is going to be doing a lot of damage. Continuing on here, Charm is digging in. We have gotten all their shields. We've done plenty of damage. The Garchomp built just enough energy to come back in here and get to the Earth Power and take the win. This is going to KO the Talonflame. Absolutely incredible. It is so fun using Garchomp. It is just so fun using this thing. I'm having a blast over here. Do you want to run Fire Blast? I don't recommend it, honestly. This is going to be purely for fun showcasing here. Alright, so for the next battle, we're met with a Goodra. Now, how does this play out? Power Whip is going to be doing some damage, non-stab. It takes a while for them to get there. Muddy Water is going to be one heck of a bait because it does hardly any damage, and it's not very effective, right? So we're going to be seeing that Power Whip. Great. We know how long it really takes. I wouldn't say it's hard to... It's kind of difficult to count Dragon Breath sometimes because of the lag. And this is definitely going to be a Muddy Water. So we're going to let it go through. As you can see here, barely any damage. We're going to be able to farm down with Waterfall. Not very effective. Still holding on to 2 shields. Bringing in a Abomasnow. So obviously Garchomp does not want anything to do with ice. Anything to do with ice or Fairy or Charm. But we can hit him with that Fire Blast. Or I guess a... Earth Power too, I suppose. So bringing in the Granbull here. We are going to let this Weather Ball go through. We're still holding on to 1 shield. I felt comfortable doing so because what's going to happen is we're going to let the Granbull go down. The Empoleon is barely holding on to any health, but it is going to be enough to survive or take this out or have them throw their energy. And we can either just go in here with our Garchomp and finish them off. And taking a couple of Powdered Snows is no problem at all, right? Hitting us with a Weather Ball. Farming down with a Garchomp, that's something funny to see, a Abomasnow getting farmed down by Garchomp. And this is one of those situations I wanted to yet again show you where if you decided to use this team, you're going to be left very vulnerable. And that was inevitably a loss, and yet again another back out for me. So into the next battle here, we're going to be met with an XL Hypno, Purified. Let's get it, folks. Very nice. This is the kind of stuff that I like to see here. So more than likely, I was thinking, maybe Thunder Punch. But it's very hard to guess, especially now in this Ultra League. I'm thinking, well, what are they going to really have? So it is a Thunder Punch, and then bail out into their own Empoleon here. Decide to stay for a while because Garchomp, unfortunately, doesn't really want to see an Empoleon too much. I mean, it's a good matchup, but with the damage that they're doing with their waterfall in comparison to our quick move and 2 shields, it's not looking good. So we're going to have to go in here with Garchomp. After saying all that, you're going to see something incredible. I took a big risk. So we're shielding this up, and I'm thinking, I want to farm this down. Is that even possible? And it is. Look at it. Wow, let's go. All right, so we do have the, what is that? The Hypno? Sorry. Okay, Fire Blast. This is why you want it. Here you go. They're not expecting a Fire Blast. They're expecting not very effective Outrage or neutral Earth Power. We're not even very effective Earth Power. We go for the Fire Blast. They have 2 shields. If you're thinking, well, they had 2 shields. If they shielded that, they could have. You know what? GBL is also a mind game situation. So, too bad, so sad. Anyways, into the next battle. They're going to be instantly going into their Talonflame after they did lead with a Shadow Gardevoir. And the reason why we are staying here is because technically it's not too good of a matchup for even Garchomp, to be honest with you, with the moveset that we currently do have. And this matchup is so good, and we know that the Granbull is going to be able to handle the Gardevoir, so that's fine. We're going to go ahead and just take out that threat there. Great. Let's see what they come back in here with. It's going to be a Swampert. We're loaded up on energy, so we're in a very good position here. So basically at this point, they've used both shields. We have one left. They're getting a decent amount of farm, and it is Shadow, so we have to still be a little clever in what we do. So I was going to throw in the Garchomp to just absorb their energy, and then bring in Granbull after it was all over and said and done. But this is what happens here. So they swapped. Great. We're going to go ahead and let it go down. Like I said, Granbull able to handle the Gardevoir, and they're going to be getting off another charge move here. We're simply going to shield this up, and the Earth Power should be enough to take out... Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. It's like a couple more quick moves, I do believe. It's very nerve-wracking. And then, bam, we take it out. Garchomp putting in that stinking work, folks. Let's go. All right, into the next battle here. Having a blast in my favorite league. We're met with a Sylveon the first time I did battle it. And they're swapping into an Ampharos. Oh, my smile grew quite big. Okay, because this is a good matchup here. And, yeah, they could have Dragon Pulse. Sure. They hit me with something else, and it is going to be a Focus Blast. That's still fine. The electric moves are so resisted at this point, it doesn't even matter, right? We can let it go through. We're good to go. If they want to already use 2 shields, hey, by all means, go for it. But they're letting it go. Bringing in that Sylveon. We're going to go ahead and bring in the Napoleon here. Not wasting any time for the clock because we want them to be locked up against this matchup here. Perfect, right? And we're going to go ahead and farm, but they decide to swap, and it is going to be a Roserade. So I didn't really like this at first, but then I started to notice how much the Charm was still doing with the Shadow Granbull. So, yeah, we're perfectly fine here. We're just going to shield up this Weather Ball. We're looking good. Now, what else could you pair it up with? I mean, I had to think about that. Honestly, I don't want to say too many things because there's a lot of nasty people out there who like to rip me off at the same time. You know, no credit. So it's like, well... how does that all work out, right? So anyways, they're going to be coming in with a Sylveon here. And I'm going to go ahead and just take it out, whatever. Looking good, Empoleon. Let's go. All right, so into the next battle here. What are we going to be met with this time? And another bad lead. I guess this is fine. It's going to showcase whether or not we're going to be able to pull through, although we've seen it already. Very similar matchup as to before, swapping into a Charizard. Wait, no, not quite. It does have Dragon Breath. Okay, so that's a lot threatening, obviously. Does it have Dragon Breath? And Dragon Claw, letting it go down. Yeah, it definitely has Dragon Breath. So, I'm going to go ahead and bring in the Empoleon. And we're going to let this go through. There's no way in heck that a Dragon Breath got to a Blast Burn that quick. Yeah, exactly. It's just a bait. And we're going to go ahead and keep on going here. Fantastic. Building up on energy. We have 2 Drill Pecks. So, great. Now we have 2. Perfect. They're in a whole world of trouble here. So we're going to go ahead and shield this up. We're going to get one through. They did swap into... Whoa. What did they just go into? Hey, a Muck. Oh, okay. A Alolan Muck. Beautiful. Bringing in our Granbull here. And, well, Charm is still doing a ton of damage to it, despite it being part poison. It doesn't really matter, especially with that Shadow Charm. We're shielding up the Sludge Wave correctly. And we're going to simply go for the Crunch here, which is going to force a shield. They're not going to be able to take this out. Maybe if they get a Rock Slide through, but it ain't happening. Yeah, charming it down with like 3 charms. All right, so this video is so fun to record the audio over and watch that time is just flying. We're already 14 in. All right, sounds good. So, all right, Venusaur. It was starting to appear quite often after about 2 or 3 sets in the lead. And it's a little frustrating, but I guess it's not the worst case scenario. I suppose we can be up against a Shadow Machamp. And they're going to be swapping and locking into their Ampharos, and you already know what it is. It's Garchomp time. It is hammer time. So we're going to go ahead and go for the Earth Power. I guess it's Earth Power time. And they're bringing in that Venusaur. Again, Venusaur is just a beast. As much as I dislike these matchups for my team here, it pretty much destroys my whole team. Venusaur is an amazing Pokemon, simple as that. So we're going to go ahead and go for Earth Power, doing a lot of damage there. Very nice. Now, I shield this up. I'm thinking, you're coming back in. All right, what is back there? I'm a little. Oh, it's another Electric. Look at that. Electros. Are you kidding me? Is Garchomp going to sweep this team? Oh, yeah, you better believe it. So look at the health that it had this entire time. Are you kidding me? Let's get it. Shielding this up, it is a Dragon Claw. We've used this before, so we've got the experience. I was really praying that we're going to get to this here, and we did. Let's go. We're able to get to it. There was a little bit of lag, but able to finish them off. Garchomp taking the win. Absolutely demolishes those electric types. Into the next battle here. Oh, this is fantastic. Up against the Ninetales, and it did have Powdered Snow, so we need to be very careful about that and very, very precise on where we match up our Garchomp because, well, it'll be a big advantage for them to just farm down. So we are taking down the Machamp without using a shield. In comes the Ninetales, and they are still locked in here. Time is not going to let them go for another, I don't know, 30 seconds or so. Maybe like less. But anyway, going to continue on, letting the Dazzling Gleam go through. It does do a nice chunk of damage, even though it is resisted. And I didn't want to get too comfortable here. If they get to another Dazzling Gleam and I don't shield it, well, it's like, well, GG, you lost. So they are using their final shield, and I do believe it's time for me too. I don't care if they bait me at this point. I really don't. They have their own Empoleon. I was a little hesitant to swap into the Garchomp here, but we had to, it was like, make the call now or you're done, right? So I wanted to get off a Fire Blast because it just would have been fun, but I'm thinking, nah, don't do that. Don't make yourself lose or do something stupid. So we just go for the Earth Power. Obviously, that's the most common sense move to go for. And we're shielding up this last Weather Ball. Simple, no problem. Getting to the Hydro Cannon here, and we're going to do the one touch, one area, because we don't need to hit all the bubbles and taking the win. Looking good. All right, as you can see, Fire Blast Garchomp, putting in some work. Really fun to use. Into the next battle. But if you're going to use it, like I said, probably want to go with Sand Tomb and then Outrage, right? Sand Tomb, Outrage. Although, I did simulations, and Sand Tomb and Earth Power, as well as Mudshot Garchomp, is the best win percent for the Ultra League. It's like a 60% as opposed to like a 55, 58 with the other moves. Anyway, up against the Abomasnow here. These leads started coming up quite a bit as well. Not too worried about it, but we need to be careful with that Energy Ball. If it's able to go through or charge up energy and be saved for later, Garchomp is going to be really not liking that situation. So they're going for a Weather Ball. We're calling it. Very nice. It's surviving. 1-to-1 shield. We have energy. It is going to be a Glade. We go for Hydro Cannon. I'm not worried about not going for Jolpek. I don't care. It still does a good amount of damage. They're getting off the shield anyway. So it's time for Granbull. Let's go. Shadow Granbull, put in that work. As soon as they see it, they're probably like, threw the phone on the couch and like, man, Poke using the Charm Shadow. Alright, so into the next battle here, we're met with a Roserade. Leaf Storm is real, and we need to look out for it. That was way too quick for one, so we're not worried about it. I'm thinking maybe they got Weather Ball and Sludge Bomb or something like that to cover for those fairies. Although Weather Ball is great, Leaf Storm is also a good move. I just haven't really ran it too much. Anyways, I'm going to let this Weather Ball go through. We're really starting to add up. We haven't used a shield yet. They do swap into Gyarados, so we're going to go ahead and stay in here for now and then throw the Drill Peck. I do believe we're going to swap into our Granbull. I just had to register, like, okay, that's Dragon Breath. Okay. All right. A lot of times I screw up, you know, and it's it. That's done. And so we're taking the win on that. Resisted by the Dragon Breath. Great. Bringing in the Roserade here. It's resisting Fairy because it's poison. But look at the damage. Shadow Charm from Granbull is just insane. Hence why I don't care about IVs, right? I got the one that I went with, and as simple as that. They're bringing in Swampert here. It's not even Shadow, and look at how much health we've already done. Look at that. It's just beautiful. We're in a bit of a jam. That's got a lot of energy. We need to figure this out, okay? Because these Hydro Cannons are going to add up. So we're going to have to catch. Yeah, let's go. I love it when I do that. they are under tapping. I don't even think they hit anything. And that was very smart on their behalf. So they're going to be able to gain more energy and spam us more with those Hydro Cannon. So very well played there. And they still have a shield lift. So I'm thinking, how is this going to work? All right. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and do this. I'm thinking, come on, we got to. There's no way they're going to be pulling off that many Hydro Cannons that quickly. And we're able to get to the Earth Power. Thank goodness. Garchomp, good old trusty, taking the win for us up against that Swampert. All right. Into the next battle here. And we're going to be met with a Swampert Shadow. And again, I got my ways to know that it does not have Earthquake. And it's not because I played this battle already. I just knew straight from the get-go. Anyways, we're going to let it go through because, well, we don't have to worry about that. It's going to be a Hydro Cannon. I do believe we'll shield up the next one. It's not because we think it's an Earthquake, but it's because Hydro Cannon at this point will be taking us out. So we will shield that up. Okay, looking good. If they want a double shield, they're going to be catching. Very awesome. Hey, good play. Good play. It is a Tame Growth. All right, time to shine, Garchomp. You're going to be taking a lot of damage from that Power Whip still, but if they let it go through, Fire Blast is going to be doing a ton. Now, my concern with this matchup and them shielding this or not is Outrage is still real, and that's neutral and it does a lot of damage. But we're getting that Fire Blast through, one-shotting the Tame Growth, well, plus the additional damage from the, Hydro Cannon, and they're bringing in a Glade to farm us down. Now, that's a Leaf Blade ready Glade, I do believe. So we're going to go ahead and bring in an Empoleon here to resist those confusions. They put on the pressure for them to get off some energy, but they didn't throw right away because they know that they don't. They can farm. They need to farm up a little bit more to win this. So we will shield this up because this does have Sludge Wave, but they're going to be getting off a Hydro Cannon and bringing in the Glade. We are shieldless. I knew what I was doing here. I know close combat's not going to work, and I don't think they're going to be able to get to another Leaf Blade. We take the win. They still have a shield because this team throws people off by surprise. You got that Shadow Charm, which is disgusting. Waterfall damage from the rank 2 Empoleon, which is great. And then, of course, the Garchomp with Fire Blast just leaves them, one-shotted. They didn't know what was coming. Nobody runs Fire Blast on a Garchomp. Anyways, we're going to go ahead. I think we actually have done it before. Actually, we have made a video. So we're going for a fire. Holy cow, they let it go through. Wowie, wow, let's go. And this is not good, but we're going to go for this Fire Blast time. Oh, yeah, it's Fire Blast time. Another Fire Blast. Not very effective, but still. Woo, that's awesome. All right, so we're going to go ahead and bring in the Empoleon here because we resist... not everything. Crunch. Yeah, Crunch is going to go through us. Still hurts. They're swapping into a Machamp. And here comes the Granbull. Let's go. Rock Slide's going to hurt. And we're still going to be perfectly fine. In comes the Gyarados. Has those waterfalls. And they did not want to farm us down. We still have a shield left, which we are easily going to let this go through. No problem. In comes the Empoleon to farm down with not very effective waterfall. Into the next battle here. We're going to be met with a Toxicroak. Horrible, absolutely through and through. And if you're thinking, well, you can get to a Drill Peck. By the time you get to that, they're going to get to counter you down halfway health and Mud Bomb you. So we're swapping, and they're countering us with a Gardevoir. Well, hey, you can't win them all with Garchomp, and you served us well. And let's see if we can pull off this battle. You're not going to go down in vain, Garchomp. Not today. So in comes the Empoleon here. Now, we're worried about Shadow Ball. I wasn't counting. They hit us with a not very effective Synchronoise. Like, come on. I mean, not come on to them, but like, God, man. Dang, we used the shield there. Alright, so what's it going to be? What you going to come back in here with? And it is going to be a Metagross. So this is looking pretty good. Obviously, the Granbull does not want anything to do with that. Not one bit. They're letting it go through. Looks like using it solely as absorbing. And we're going to go ahead and swap into our Granbull as soon as we see that Toxicroak. And this is a GG. Simply shielding this up. It is a Sludge Bomb right away. And the farm down with Charm. In comes the Metagross. I never thought I'd be taking out a Metagross with my Shadow Granbull. Interesting. Although we do have Crunch if that ever was a situation. So we are going to be met with a Galarian Stunfisk. They're going to be instantly swapping into a Venusaur here. We're going to go ahead and hold the line with it. Because I'm not going to say Granbull can handle the Galarian Stunfisk. Not by any means. But it does have close combat. And do we need to state the obvious? Garchomp will absolutely run over it. I do something pretty funny. I think we actually go for Fire Blast when we could have clearly went for an Earth Power. Just because I wanted to see the damage. I just wanted to see how much damage Fire Blast would do to a XL Galarian Stunfisk. without simulations. So they're going to be farming us down here, no shields, and this is not the best situation around. We can take a Frenzy Plant, but they do something weird. Sludge Bomb. Hey, you got me, okay? Everybody makes mistakes. I don't know what's going on with that. Because we're ground, we resist the poison, right? So we're getting the Earth Power through. Regardless, I don't think it really mattered. We're going to go ahead and let the... Oh, man, they baited us with that. Okay, so yeah, this is the Fire Blast one for sure. Earth Power is so much more ideal. Don't do this unless you're trying to have fun and just, you know, mess around. And, yeah, look at the damage. Beautiful. We're okay because we're going to go in here with Granbull and just Charm. But they go for Rock Slide, and then they have a Galvantula back there. I'm thinking, whoa, 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 no! We were so close. This is what happens when you mess around. Are you freaking joking? Oh, my goodness. But it's okay. Shadow Granbull is going to come in here and save the good old day. And I'm thinking Discharge is going to basically one-shot us. Oh, surviving, taking him out. In comes the Galarian Stunfisk, and we charm it out of existence. Thank you for watching, trainers. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll be catching you all next time. Take care.
Hey! So you're finally here! Fantastic!